Welcome to this new faction overview. Today we're gonna be going over the Fel Horde. So the Fel Horde is one of the two Outland factions, the other one being commonly the Eldari and possibly the Sunfury. But today we're gonna go over the Fel Horde. So the Fel Horde is a very powerful faction, characterized mostly by the use of chaos damage on a lot of their units. They are also a very aggressive faction, and they could be considered one of the most powerful ones. So first of all, we have their Fel Grun. So the Fel Grun is their melee unit. It has chaos damage, charge, Fel infused skeleton, blood rune, frenzy, and pillage. Blood rune is a spell that a lot of units will share, and it reduces damage taken from magic and spells by 5%. Fel infused skeleton. When the Fel Horde grunt dies, it will transform into a skeletal grunt, allowing it to continue fighting for 40 seconds. Next up, we have the Fel Crossbowman. So the Fel Crossbowman has Frenzy and Blood Rune, and also Berserk, causing this unit to attack 60% faster but take 30% more damage. Finally, in the Barracks, we have the Demolisher, the siege unit, that can learn Burning Oil. For the researchers, we have the Fel Infused Skeleton, we have Demonic Flux, which will increase the Fel Grunt, Crossbowman, and Bone Crusher hit point by 15%, and then the improved Frenzy and Burning Oil. Next up, let's take a look at the casters. First of all, we have the Necrite. The Necrite is a healing and support caster with the spells Shadow Infuser, Unholy Frenzy, and Soul Burn. Next caster up, we have the Fel Warlock. This caster has a pretty high damage, and the spells are Firebolt, Devour Magic, and Unholy Armor, which will increase the target friendly unit armor by 12, but at the cost of 6% of its current HP. Then we have the elite caster, the Eredar Occultist. So this caster has Resistant Skin, Chaos Damage, and it has Stasis Trap, Firestorm, and Mass Bloodlust. Finally, we do have a Flying Scout, the Eye of Grillock, which has Invisibility, True Sight, and can fly. Then we have the Bestiary. So the Bestiary can produce more specific units for some situations. So first of all, the Raider. So the Raider has Ensnare, Frenzy, Pillage, Demolish, Bleeding Blade that causes this unit's attack to reduce attack speed by 50%, and Blood Rune. Then we have the Bone Breaker. So the Bone Breaker has Charge, Pulverize, Lesser Fel Steel Plating, Pillage, Frenzy, and Blood Rune. The Blood Raider is limited to 12. And finally, we have the Obsidian Drake. The Obsidian Drake has a magic attack, Devour, and Incinerate. Then in the research, we have Demonic Flux, Improved Frenzy, once again, both of those. And then we have Incinerate for the Drake, and additional attack range, Enhanced Breath for the Drake. Then we're going to look at the elites. So the Fel Horde has access to 2 elite units eventually when they unlock it with quests. So this is the only faction in the game that has that. So first of all, we have the Executioner. So the Executioner is a powerful melee unit with Execute. This unit attacks instantly kill units with fewer hit points than 400% of this unit's damage, and heroes with fewer hit points than 200% of this unit's damage. Then we have Thunderclap, Rampage, Blood Rune, Frenzy, Resistant Skin, and Lesser Fel Steel Plating. Next up, we have the Fel Death Knight. The Fel Death Knight is a support caster and healer. He has Silence, Soul Funnel, Dark Energy, Resistant Skin, and Spell Resistance. And then we have the Infernal Juggernaut, limited only to 4. They have Chaos Damage against unit, Siege Damage versus building, as well as Inferno as a spell. Alright, so those are all the units available to the Fel Horde. They also have a research heal called Fel Steel Refining, which will improve the Fel Steel Plating spell that a lot of the units have. Let's take a look now at the heroes. So the Fel Horde heroes are, first of all, Kargeth. Kargeth is a melee hero specializing in leadership and improving your army. He has Breath of Fire, an AoE damage ability, Dark Grip, which will immobilize an enemy over a duration and deals some damage, but it's a channeling spell. He has Innate Command Aura, Vampiric Aura, and finally Field of Blood, which will heal all units in a large area over a period of 35 seconds. Next hero is Magtheridon. Magtheridon is a very powerful hero. He has a lot of damage dealing abilities. So first of all is Explosion. It's in Nova without slow, so it's a big explosion damage ability. Then we have Cleaving Attack of up to 40%. Owl of Terror, Fel Battle Plate, which will give him extra armor and return 20% of melee attack damage to enemies. And finally, Fel Fire, which is an extremely powerful blizzard type ability. So that is Magtheridon. He also has a very high attack value. Next up, we have Tyron Blackhand. So Tyron Blackhand is a physical damage dealer hero with the following abilities. He has Windwalk as innate and Critical Strike as innate. He then has Blade Storm on Q, Blackhand Howl, which will improve friendly nearby unit by 15% damage and their life regeneration by 180% for 25 seconds, Endurance Aura, and Mirror Image as an ultimate. The illusions that the mirror image creates deal 100% damage, so they fully attack the same amount as Tyron, making him a very good hero for offensive items. As the final hero we have, it is Tyron Gori. This is a support hero with a lot of healing and other such abilities. So here he has Mass Death Coil. Fires several coil at units in the target area, healing friendly undead units for 80 and dealing half damage to enemy living units. We then have Energy Wave. It's a healing wave basically. We then have Brilliance Aura, and finally Mass Animate Dead. The Fel Horde also has access to a demi-hero, this being Kazak the Supreme. So Kazak has the following abilities: Resistant Skin, Cleaving Attack 25%, Devotion Aura, Cripple, War Stomp, and Devour Magic, as well as a very powerful stat line. Now you would think that is the end of the Fel Horde overview, but they have one more unit. Actually a bunch of units. So they have access to 4 Demon Gates. So the first one is the Eredar Witch Demon Gate. Once upgraded, it will spawn a Demon Witch every 90 seconds. You can further upgrade it into one of 3 possible different gates. This one spawns Queen of Suffering with Unholy Aura. This one Maiden of Dominance with Spell Steal. And finally this one will spawn 3 Eredar Witch. They all have Curse. Next up we have the Felhound Gate, and I do believe there is 2 of them, yes. So the Felhound Gate has 3 options of Felguard, which will summon 2 Felguard with Charge, Cleaving Attack, and Critical Strike, or Pit Fiend, which is a Pit Fiend, it's a very powerful melee unit with Self Bloodlust, and finally the Felhound Pack, which will summon 6 Felhounds with Feedback. The final Demon Gate is the Voidwalker Demon Gate. This gate can be improved into 3 very powerful units. So first of all, the Terror Guard, which will summon 1 every 240 seconds, but they are a ranged unit with True Sight and Resistant Skin. Then the Void Lord. This unit has Frost Attack and Soul Ritual. And finally, the Void Crusher that has Frost Attack. Your builders can build a building called a Focal Demon Gate, which is right here. This Demon Gate will spawn all the units spawned by the gates at his location instead of where the gates are. And they will attack where you put your rally point. This means that you can build this gate anywhere and the units, your demon reinforcements will spawn here. Now let's take a look at the quest real quick. First we have the Citadel. It requires killing a bunch of creeps around Outland and to upgrade your Great Hall to Fortress, and it's gonna give you control of Hellfire Citadel and enable you to train Magtheridon. Next up, we have Ash and Smoke. You need to have a unit at Shadowmoon Valley, and you need to have destroyed Terrakar Forest and all the creeps nearby. This will give you a gold mine and a base at Shadowmoon Valley. Next up, Blackrock Unification. You need to complete the Citadel and research activate the Blackrock clan at the Hellfire Citadel. This will grant you the Blackrock Citadel base, a small outpost near the Dark Portal, and enable Tyron Blackhand to be trained at the altar. Next quest, Fel Steel Refining. You need to destroy the Great Forge. This is going to give you access to 4 Infernal Juggernauts, and you acquire Fel Steel Plating. Those who came before, you need to destroy Stormwind Keep. You get access to Tyron Gori and the 6 Fel Death Knights. Golden's Legacy. You have a hero at Golden's Corpse in the Tomb of Sargeras. This is gonna give you research the Blood Runes. And finally, Dark Portal. This is a quest that will automatically complete at turn 10, but you can research at turn 8, and this will open the Dark Portal for you to invade Azeroth. I hope you have appreciated this deep dive into the Fel Horde, this overview I should say, and I will catch you tomorrow for a new overview.